Hi guys, it's Amanda. So today I'm doing something a little bit different from my normal beauty videos. Somebody actually commented on a different video of mine and asked me to do a video on like everyday life social problems, and I decided to talk about toxic friendships because it's something that I grapple with actually on a daily basis. I'm just going to warn you that I was really sick on Christmas Eve. I actually was hospitalized because I had the stomach flu. So if I'm talking kind of quiet and I look kind of tired and sick, it's because I'm still trying to get over that. But nevertheless, I will carry on and make this video for you guys because I really wanted to talk about it. I think having problems in a friendship is completely normal. You know, we all come from different backgrounds and we all have different personalities, and when you spend a certain amount of time with somebody, like almost too much time, then I think you're bound to have some problems. Not every friendship is perfect, but I think that there's a boundary that each friendship should have when it comes to making a comment or how you conduct yourself in that friendship. And I think once you sense that that person is being a little too overboard with how they word things or how they act, then I think that's where you should draw the line and begin to reevaluate your friendship. For me personally, I've had two types of different toxic friendships. The first type of person that I've dealt with is someone who just makes a comment whenever they feel is necessary, whether they think about my feelings or not. For example, they've made comments about, like, I don't know, I think we were having a conversation about college or something like that, and she'll be like, yeah, that's if you graduate college, kind of thing. Like, really condescending stuff that just kind of comes out of left field, and it kind of just leaves me like, okay, you know, what was the point of making that comment? It's rude and it's just uncalled for, and it really left me thinking, you know, like, is this friendship, you know, worth staying in? The second type of toxic friendship that I've dealt with is the friend who's kind of like the moocher, the friend who forgets their wallet when you go out to eat with them, the friend who always somehow needs a ride from you. It's almost to the point where it's ridiculous how you feel like you're buying them, you know, lunch every time you go out to eat. I mean, I'm totally all for buying lunch once in a while for a friend is fine, but when it gets to the point where they constantly need you to pick them up, take them here, and I think that there's a problem. So I guess I'll just go into detail about the first type of friendship, the comment-making type of mean friend. The hardest part for me to deal with is that I can't completely ring her for the way that she is, because she grew up in a household where they just say whatever they want to each other, whereas I didn't. I grew up in a household that respected each other, and if we had something mean to say about one another, we kind of just kept it to ourselves, to be honest. I mean, granted, you know, my family has argued and all that stuff. We're not perfect, but I'm just saying, like, for example, her mom would, I guess, make piggy noises while she was eating, so she kind of has like a complex about her body, and it's kind of escalated into an insecurity that has now completely resonated in her everyday conscious today, which I think is a big reason why she makes little comments to me and lashes out sometimes and doesn't even realize it. So with that being said, I can't just throw it back right at her, because, to be honest, whatever I say to her will completely stay with her worse than it would with me, because her self-confidence isn't very high due to the environment she grew up with. And I think that's really important to take into account when you deal with someone who is supposed to be your friend but never seems happy for you and makes really snappy, rude comments. You have to approach it really carefully, because I know that you may feel like you've been a doormat to this person for however many years. I know I feel like that, but it's really important to remember that this person has probably a lot of anger behind each comment that they make to you. I know some people just, you know, are naturally sarcastic, but most times if they're making comments about your intelligence or your appearance or, your personal life, it's probably because they're insecure about their own. And, I'm not trying to throw out the, oh, she's just jealous card, because I kind of gotten hints that she isn't happy with her life by the way she talks about herself and the way that she complains about certain aspects of her life, is that she's genuinely not happy with her own skin sometimes. So I think the best way to deal with a friend who is lashing out at you is to gently point it out. And when I say gently, I mean as gently as possible. I'm in my head, like, multiple times I have pictured myself cussing her out. Believe me, it has made me so angry, some of the comments she just makes. Say it as nice as possible. I think that's a really hard thing to do, and doing it nicely is even harder, but it's so important for you to assert how you feel, because oftentimes when people make these comments, they don't realize it, and it's selfish of them, obviously. So when they say how they feel, I think it's really important to insert words maybe like, well, I feel like you are talking to me condescendingly. Something like that, something that's saying how you feel, and you're basically saying that, hey, my feelings matter too, and my opinion matters too, so this is how I feel about you making a comment on, my hair, my brain, my, whatever. By saying, I think this, I feel this, you're basically taking your feelings back, and you're not letting them stomp on your emotions anymore. It's a really tricky thing, because you don't want to upset the person, but at the same time, they've upset you, and it's really important that there's a balance here. Being in a emotionally abusive friendship is not cool. If you feel like you need to kind of just rip them a new hiney, then maybe that's what you need to do. I mean, to be honest, I have not yet dealt with this friendship, okay? I have yet to grow a pair and just say something, because her self-confidence and her whole personality is very fragile, and just because she has to sink to that level doesn't mean that I do too, to get my point across. I'm not gonna be that person. I don't want to be rude. I really don't want to be. So the advice that I've heard basically is to just be honest, because they will continue to step on you if you don't say something. If you have the guts to say something, go ahead and just say it, because it won't stop. It'll continue, and the comments will just flood. And if they don't stop even when you say something, honestly, you need to distance yourself from that, because it'll bring down your happiness. I know I leave in a crappy mood a lot of times after we hang out, and I end up talking to my parents being like, well, she said this, she said that, I can't believe it. And they're like, well, why do you hang out with her? I'm like, because I feel bad, I don't know. And I think it's just time for me to put my happiness first, and it's time for you to put your happiness first if this person leaves you down, because I have other friends and we don't do this type of stuff to each other. We're always encouraging, we're always happy for each other, we never make, mean, nasty comments. So I know that what I have going on right now with this particular friend isn't necessarily normal, and I truly do believe that it is toxic, for me anyways. One day I will have the courage to be honest, but I definitely encourage you all to not be like me, and to stand up for yourself, and not to be afraid to assert how you feel, because it's really important for you to have healthy relationships and friendships, because friends are the ones who are supposed to be there for you when bad things happen, who are supposed to encourage you. Yeah, they're basically like your parents, except you can tell them all the really bad stuff you do. I hope this video was a little bit helpful as to friends who talk down to you or use you. It's really hard growing up, and when you're in high school and college, and maybe even when you're in adulthood, you're just trying to find yourself, and you're trying to find people like you who you should surround yourself with. In the end, your happiness should come first, and you should just deal with toxic people in your life, because all they're going to do is bring you down. Your happiness will most definitely be affected by people who are negative towards you. And don't be like me, because I'm super timid and quiet, and look where it got me. I'm sitting here making a video talking about how angry I am. So don't be afraid to say something to that friend that, you know, hey, this really bothers me that you do this. Don't be afraid to cut off the friendship just because you're scared that you'll have less friends. I think with every door that closes, a new one opens, and for friends that I lost in high school, I always gained new ones. Not trying to brag, nothing like that. It just seemed like whenever I distanced myself from someone or I stopped talking to someone, someone new always popped up in my life, whether it was through school or I used to work at Subway. I met some people there that were really cool. It's not worth having a lot of friends in your life if they're just gonna be really messed up to you and stuff like that. I definitely believe in the saying quality over quantity. You pretty much know what that means. I don't need to explain that. But if you have any more questions or any comments, or if you've dealt with this type of thing before, just tell me what you think about it in the comment box. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I enjoyed talking about it. It was pretty therapeutic, and it definitely got me thinking about how I'm going to deal with future friendships. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.